Prize Picks are the most fun I've had playing daily fantasy sport this football season. The best part, it's available in over 30 states, including Oklahoma, Texas, California, etc. So you can get into the action with ease. It's very easy to play. All you got to do is pick 2 or more players, pick more or less on their statistics, and boom, you're in the game in 60 seconds or less. Like, for example, on the screen, you can see I've been looking at a few of these. For myself, we've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, probably more on the rushing and receiving touchdowns at half, and Jared Goff at 1.5 passing touchdowns. I'm going to take more. I even think Joe Mixon is going to get more than 76.5 rushing yards. You can jump in as well. Check us out. Use our promo code UNFAIR to get $50 on your first $5 lineup. You don't even have to win. The beauty of it is you get it guaranteed. And because it's so simple to play and they have all these promotions like Taco Tuesday and all of that, you've got to check out Prize Picks. So check them out. Go to prizepicks.com. Use our code UNFAIR and receive a guaranteed $50 once you play your first $5 plus lineup. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Yep, we're back for another one full of pain here on the Sooner or Later Sports Show. That's Coop. Thank y'all for pulling up. I am Jay. Thanks for pulling up here on the YouTube channel and listening wherever podcasts are downloaded and listened to. While you're here, please wipe your feet. Like, subscribe, rate, review. Give us those 5 stars. You don't think we deserve it? Just go ahead and give us 5 anyway. And gifted. So on today's episode, we got a lot of things to talk about, like an abysmal loss and just kind of how everything fell apart. We'll give you our thoughts on both offense and defense, and we'll keep it a buck. We'll talk about a few positive things. And we'll wrap things up, of course, like we always do, with your fan thoughts. Coop, happy Sunday, my man. How are you mentally and physically?
Well, today is Yellowstone returns to the TV after like a damn year off. So that's something good. You got the Thunder and Warrior one tonight. It should be tipping off here sometime soon. If you guys did not know, you can download FanDuel Sports and watch the Thunder. So you got like Roku TV, Amazon Fire. You can get that app on there. But Jay, you got to look for the good things in life, man. There's lots of good stuff out here. Unfortunately, we just saw the last 2 minutes of that game were pretty much the microcosm of our season.
Yep. Because it's funny you say that. Funny you say the microcosm of the season because, Coop, I was looking at this. The defense, in my opinion, played 52 minutes of fantastic football.
Yeah.
The defense played 52 minutes of fantastic football. I did a screen cap. I looked at my, I opened up my laptop because I closed it in the third quarter. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and just, not send messages like I was. And then in the fourth quarter, when things happen, I did anyway. But third quarter closed it, opened it up, and I looked at the screen cap. I'll tell you what this screen cap says, Coop. Hi to all of you in the chat. Yep, I know everybody's hurting. Everybody's in pain. All of you are upset. I totally get it. This is what I saw when I looked at it, Coop. This is what baffled me. It was 12 minutes and 17 seconds left in the third quarter. Missouri had the ball. Missouri had 23 yards passing and 69 yards rushing so far. We had 86 yards passing and 44 yards rushing. And our quarterback, who had thrown the ball 13 times, was tied in yards at 43 with our punter, who only threw 1 pass. That is, like you said, the last 2 minutes is the microcosm of our entire season. Everything has basically just fallen apart at the end. Unfortunately, it's been bad. Now, I'm going to say this too. I saw a lot of silver linings in there because I have now looked at 2025. I am good on 2024. Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring the lives for the rest of the season. I'm looking at 2025. And when I look down there, Coop, saw something. So start off with your initial thoughts. I will let you have the table first, as I've talked about the 52 minutes of good defense. How you feel?
You know, I pull up the defensive ratings for 2022, just 2 years ago. We have more than cut those stats in half. And so, like, I'm frustrated because this defense has done everything in their, I mean, it's one thing if, like, your offense is really good and your defense is just literal horse crap. And, like, because,
revolving
you know, it's
door.
like effort, revolving door, whatever. Like, this defense has grinded out so much. And I hate the fact that, like, the 2 or 3 plays that they give up, you know, in a game, you know, it, like, reflects poorly. How many games have our defense given up 2 scores, and our offense assisted in 2 or 3 more? And so, yeah. I mean, it's just, you look at it, you're starting the season with all the injuries, and it just continues to keep on happening. You know, Deion Burke's concussion again yesterday. So yeah. Here's the thing: is the season's over. I mean, outside of a outer body experience game from Jackson, like Trevor Knight had, you know, against Alabama, outside of something like that, it's done. I mean, like, this season is not, you're not playing for anything. You just literally have to go out there, and I won't take your words directly from you, but you're playing for a spot on a team next year. You're playing for NFL draft positioning, and then you're trying to put some film on. And so you're going to see the offensive side of the ball just absolute gutted over the season. And everybody is frustrated right now, right? Everybody, because we actually got back to a spot where we believe that we could win a game. And yeah, so I mean, it's I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that, like, this. I'm not going to watch next week's game, or I guess Alabama in 2 weeks. I'm not going to watch. Like, I'm still going to watch those games, and I'll probably emotionally be invested about, like I was versus Ole Miss, where I was just like, let's see what might happen. But it's just frustrating. It's just frustrating. I mean, it's just like that's the word, is frustrating, because you know, I saw plays during fall camp. I saw film from fall camp, but all that goes out the line when you've got way too many scenarios to overcome. And we had the injuries, the poor coaching on offense, poor recruiting from a couple years prior. Couple situations here and there on transfer portal that didn't go right. But yeah, I mean, this is not what anybody wanted to see. Nobody wanted to see, you know, it's not like the SEC has kicked our ass. It's a conglomeration of everything. And like I said, my silver lining, this will be the last thing I say. My silver lining, Jay, is I think that through the injuries and everything that we went through this year, it fast forwarded us making a decision the correct way on offense, because let's just be honest, if we didn't have the receiver injuries and we were just stumbling through, you know, let's be honest. I mean, if the receivers never get hurt, maybe we have 2 more wins, and, you know, it's just as frustrating. But at least with this, you know that you can completely just piss everything else off and start over next year on offense with a complete new staff. But I think this, you know, current staff is still here next year if all these injuries didn't happen to the wide receiver group and maybe the offensive line. So I'm not in the fire BV crowd, but I also wouldn't argue against it at this point, because I don't know if there's a fair argument against it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who you're going to replace him with. That's really my big question. And it's funny because I'm in that same boat. I am in the give him next year. Give him one more year. The injuries are something that no coach would survive. And it's not just like it was like a massive just whole circle of offensive dudes. And then as the season progressed, you start to lose defensive guys in game. If that's the case, you get one more. But the hiring of Seth Luttrell was on you. You definitely get all the blame for that. In the name of continuity, it didn't work. And it's obvious that the Arizona game was obviously a mirage. Let's just put it that way. Because that was the game you actually that was the game where you measured what you thought you were going to get out of Luttrell. So that was a mirage. And then it just fell apart from there.
Yeah.
Dealing with all those injuries, yeah. It was just brutal. For me, I'm not on the BV needs to be fired train, but I am just like you. If he got fired, it wouldn't bother me. I still like the fact that our defense actually played 52 minutes of really good football. Then you had 8 minutes spread out, especially the last two that were doggy-doo. Last 2 minutes were awful. The decisions that were made on that, I've got a video coming out tomorrow morning around each position group, so I'm not going to spoil it for you all, but I've got something on each coach and my thoughts behind each one. Watch that tomorrow morning. But Coop, let's get on thoughts from both sides of the ball. Let's kind of go through. We'll do it similar to the way Gabe and Teddy does over there, Oklahoma Breakdown. Keep it conversational. I think that's fun because it's literally our job as fans like you all that have a platform, as a lot of you like us, in which we appreciate you like us. I actually met one of you, forgot your name, my apologies. I met you at Cracker Barrel in Shawnee. It was awesome to meet you in person. Because we have this platform and a lot of you guys actually like us, guys and gals like us, it's our obligation to go ahead and go through this game. Now we need to go ahead and start looking at 2025 because that's actually where I'm at. So if it bothers you that your boy has a little pep in his step, a little smile on his face, my bad, yo. I told y'all in my recap video, I'm not even reading much of the comments besides our live people, so we appreciate y'all. But I'll say this too. There's one thing I needed to make mention of before we start talking about both sides of the ball. If you come into my comment section with disgusting comments, you will be banned. There was one person floating around social media, and I actually saw some comments in some of these videos. The good thing is YouTube's really good at deleting or holding comments for review before they're actually put out, certain ones based upon certain words and stuff. Nothing that I chose. YouTube chose it, especially those that spam really hard. And there was some nasty stuff in there in my held for review. I just want y'all to know that. This is a game played by 18 to 23-year-olds. And if you're unlucky, it's 26-year-olds. This is a game played by young people. Why are you in my comment section talking about Brent Venables' wife? Why are you in my comment section talking about how we need to end certain players and not in a cut them way? I would appreciate, and you're probably going to watch this later, or you probably in there out there somewhere, you anonymous person. Don't be disgusting like that. Be better. Please be better. It's pretty gross. And that bothered the heck out of me. When I saw it float around social media first, and then I went into my comments and saw some in the helpful review, that's just disgusting. Those people have already been banned. But they've got burner accounts, so they'll probably come back. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Now, let's talk ball, Coop. Let's talk ball. First and foremost, let's talk about the offensive side. Look, now, talk defensive side of the ball. Why should we start with the negativity in the world? Why shouldn't we start with the positive feelings? Because there was some positive spots on defense. And, Coop, I'm going to be honest. I'm actually excited about our defense next season. I feel really bad for Stutzman. I feel really bad for Bowman. In a way, feel bad for Woody. Because that holding call was absurd, but whatever. I feel bad for Des Malone, who's a senior, right? I feel bad for Dejon Terry, our super senior, that they had to take a defense that was doing really good stuff and everything completely gets washed away because of fumbles. Do you know that we are 134th in the country out of 134 teams in lost fumbles this season? It's amazing. But Coop, defense-wise, man, they were putting Miz in hell. Stutzman was everywhere, 19 tackles. 5 of those solo. He was everywhere. Those assists mean that he was involved in the tackle, so he was everywhere. But I do have one complaint in those 2 minutes, Coop. Why would you put 5'9" Eli Bowen on 6'2" Theo Weiss when you have 6'2" Jacoby Johnson that could have easily kept up with them? Why wouldn't you have 5'9" Eli Bowen shadow Luther Burton so that 6'2" Jacoby Johnson can keep up with 6'2" Theo Weiss? Coop, do you have an answer for that?
I mean, he's competitive. I don't like that's the thing is, I mean, it does not matter. You can't teach size. And I mean, Eli Bowen's been the best cornerback on this team. And if he wasn't going to get it done, I don't know if I have a plethora of belief that anybody else would have done anything different. We've seen Dez and Kanai get torched. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I would say. Of all the things that I can be complaining about or frustrated about, I don't think that one's in my top 10. But yeah, it's again, we're sitting here, we're going to pick out 2 or 3 plays on defense that we're frustrated with. And again, how many years ago were we like, if we just hold them to 30, we'll be good? And I mean, to be honest with you, they did better than that. So, but yeah, I just say Eli Bowen's been our most competitive defensive back all year long. And you gotta go with, huh?
Also, I would not disagree with you there at all.
So, I mean, because what happens if you throw Woody over here and he just gives it up? Then we're complaining that it was Woody yet again giving something up, or Kanai, or Dez, And so again, it's it's just a spot where you've got somebody who has demanded by their play and their practice to be on the field, and so yeah, he's like I said, I'm not going to be too frustrated at it, but
yeah, I have a lot of qualms from the decisions on that, but you're right. You're 100% right. But that's kind of why I prefaced it with the initial statement of, why wouldn't you have Jacoby Johnson, who's 6'2", you got him on the field. You're playing your young guys now. And I think there's the other preference I want to throw out there for all the fans in here. Remember this. A lot of you, not all of you, but a lot of you were saying we need to play the young guys. So we did. didn't go as well as we hoped, did it? I had a feeling. I understood why certain players did not play. I understood why certain players did not get on the field the way we wanted them to. But yeah, that's why. Lots of mistakes. But that was why I was wondering. Like, that was my qualm. Lewis Carter, when he got out there for his 4 snaps, he actually made some impacts. The Billy Bowman hit on 4th down. Yeah, just like y'all, I jumped out of my seat. That was what made me jump out. I jumped completely out my seat on that. I did not think that a tight end was going to once again get Billy in the back of the end zone. But the defense, Dominic had a really good game. Like, he was in there. Every time you looked up, he was in there. He was stopping runs. Like, the run stuffing was solid. We helped them way under what they typically perform. And it's funny because I see my guy Furry Murray in there talking noise about the SEC. Dog, did y'all not see that we just about held everybody we played against in the SEC under their averages? But it's hard to do that when your offense is literally giving you. They're giving you good field positioning. Cool. What are you supposed to do on that?
I mean, you look at the middle of the game, and that's what I was over here looking at. Is you go up 6-0, you get a field goal, right? You were in. I mean, it's not like you drove down the field. You had a drive inside after a turnover on downs where we go 6 plays, 27 yards, kick a field goal to go up 6-0. We then go 3 plays for 5 yards, 3 plays for 13 yards, 4 plays for 8 yards and turn it over on downs. That gives them a touchdown. We fumble the ball, which gives them a touchdown. They have a fumble return for a touchdown. Like, the offense literally, we said, it's not, I mean, you can't do that in this conference to where you just keep on letting somebody stick around, because nobody's scared that our offense is going to do anything left. I mean, they're not going to do anything. So even if you go out and, Peyton Thorne getting just his ass chewed into on the sideline and from the sideline, he makes a mistake. That's our last legitimate win. And I think since then, everybody has seen what Tennessee did and goes, nope, you get a lead, just don't put yourself in any jeopardy. And, I mean, Missouri almost tried to do it. And it's frustrating because, again, it's not the fact that this is another game where we lose by 7 points, and the defense gave up under 300 yards total offense. And I think that you said at one point you looked and, late in the fourth quarter, we had given up 93 yards of offense. But your defense is not going to be able to sit there and hold up when your offense doesn't do anything for you. It's just like you look at it in baseball, you look at it in NBA. If you are throwing a no-hitter and your offense has scored 3 or 4 runs, you got a little bit more relaxation capability. But now, if you are throwing a no-hitter, think of there was a year that Roger Clemens pitched for the Astros, and I think he had a sub-2 ERA, but he had like 1.4 yards of run support, or runs and run support. And eventually, it's so much more pressure. You are one play away from giving away what your offense can't do at all, which is score points. It's just, you give up one bad play, and you have now got that situation to deal with to where it's not even like we're being forced to drive 95 yards down the field. It's legitimately like getting a first down. And I think that it was, Gabe said it a few weeks back, is the moment that a penalty happens on the offense or a negative play, you're like, well, just let's get Elzinga ready, because we're coming.
go ahead and punt it. Exactly. It's just going down. And for me, the defense did as much as they possibly could until the last 2 minutes of the game.
I mean, why
it does feel like? Go ahead.
In the world where we have a lot of people going, kind of see what's going on here. I'm out. I'm going to the transfer portal. Screw you, team. I'm bouncing. Like, that is now a little bit more okay. And you look and you see guys like Danny Stutzman who are out there not 100%. What he ended up with a career high 19 tackles. Was that what it was?
Stutzman, yeah.
Yeah, 19 tackles. Ethan Downs out there, not 100%. He's going. Billy, he's doing it too. He's out there, working his butt off too. But listen, it's crazy that this defense can be the best defense that we've had in over 10 years, 15 years, and you're literally going. It's all for nothing. It's absolutely for nothing. And so I hate that for these guys, because if I had a nagging hammy, I would not say, "Hey, Danny, I need you out there for 60, 70 snaps this week." I would be like, "Danny, you tell me what you need. I don't want you to get hurt. I want you to be able to go off into the sunset and go to the NFL, but I don't want you running out here getting hurt when these last 2 games for nothing."
Yeah, but I don't expect that at all. We kind of talked about this in the green room. They're going to play. They're going to play. These last 2 games is NFL tape. Gabe and Teddy had talked about this, and I thought, when I heard that, I was like, you know what? That's a very solid point. We're about to go against 2 teams that are guaranteed to have NFL talent on it, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
So for Woody, for Bowman, for Stutz, the last 2 games of the season are NFL tape. Show them that you can do this against dudes that you know are going to be in the league. You show it. Guess what? You probably going to help your grade. Let's talk about the offense. Before we do that, shout out to Prize Picks. They are hooking y'all up. Use our promo code UNFAIR at prizepicks.com, and they'll give you $50 guaranteed bonus after you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even have to win. It's guaranteed. And it's available in the great state of Oklahoma. You can play it. So check it out. Prize Picks, Daily Fantasy Sports, made easy. Coop, offensive side of the ball. Shout out to X-Rob. 9 carries, 56 yards, 6.2 yards per carry. I'm assuming he was doing really good in practice.
Yep.
The only upset thing I have to say about DeMarco Murray on this is, why did he take 2 snaps against Texas and 2 snaps against Ole Miss?
2.
Why?
I mean,
there's no reason.
I'm out on the whole red shirt situation. It just doesn't matter anymore. But I just, first of all, congratulations to him. He ran angry. He ran really, really hard. In the fall, I saw a couple of drills that he was doing the same mistake over and over and over. And DeMarco got up in his grill, and I thought, well, maybe we don't see him this year. But he obviously has something. It took multiple injuries to get him out there. And, he should have been out there playing. And so it's just another testament towards this offensive staff, and just Brent Venables, and overall, it's just so far down, and there's a new level of awful. It seems like you're discovering every single week on offense.
Yep. But to add to what you just said, you saw from fall videos, when the media was out there getting to take videos, you can see there was mistakes made, the same ones over and over. It's nothing against my boy X-Rob, because he's one of my favorite people. Carl Albert kid. Got to see him. I went to the championship game to see my boy. But if you're making the same mistakes over and over, there's a reason why you don't play. For example, everyone's now asking why he wasn't playing. Those same people were probably saying that Taylor Tatum don't need to be playing, right? Isn't that what we've been hearing as of late? Why is Taylor Tatum out there? Take him out. He can't hold the ball. I'm just saying. My point is, there's usually a reason why, and it's typically around something around the playbook or making mistakes. Like Tatum, when he get out there, he makes some explosive moves. He is not very good at blocking yet. And that's a talent that takes time to develop. So you go look at his blocking grade, it's not good. You want to know who had a really good blocking grade, though? No lie. X-Rob, Barnes, Caleb Hicks has a really good blocking grade.
Yep.
In his 18, he has pretty good blocking grade, but we haven't got to see it extended. We only saw him in one game. We haven't seen extended Caleb Hicks. Solid grade. X-Rob had a really good grade over his 4 games total, but mainly from the last 2. Really good blocking grade. He can block really good. And it's mainly because of his size. I mean, he's a huge dude. Like, he's huge. So he's one of those that you want to be out there hitting dudes. He can block very well. So I would like to go ahead and just burn the red shirt and have him play for the rest of the season. I know that you want to have him for future years. Go ahead and play him. That way, if he needs his red shirt later because of knock on wood, hopefully injury doesn't happen, but if the injury does happen, he can use it later. At this point, you need to play him as your best back. Him and Javonte Barnes. Mix in Taylor Tatum as of right now, especially because Sawchuk is still hurting. But he can block. And what I liked most about him is the way he moved in the hole. And it's funny because let me throw this at you, Coop. This is the analogy I have for the way that he plays. It makes me think about how quarterbacks that come from smaller schools without as much talent around them thrive more in the NFL than those that came from the big schools that are producing a lot of national championships. They always seem to, more of those players play better. Like, I mean, you know, from your Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech, I think he had maybe 1 or 2 winning seasons while he was there. I mean, you go down the list of all the quarterbacks in the NFL, not a lot of them that are starting today came from a lot of your bigger schools, except for the young guys, but I digress. I'm talking about guys that have been in the league 10 plus years, or 5 to 10. But the way X-Rob runs the ball, it reminds me of the year that they won the state championship. His starting quarterback, Reed DeQuazi, my bad, got hurt. And it was literally handing the ball to X-Rob the entire season. So he ran with a lot of patience. He would wait for the hole to develop, and then he would fly right through it at that big size. I know he cut a lot of weight, but I think he's listed 6'1", 6'2", 220 pounds.
Yeah.
So what do they have him actually listed as? I think they have him listed like
it's like 221, 222, something like that.
6 foot 226 is what they had him listed on here. I don't think he's taller than 6 feet. I'm almost 6 feet. He's way taller than me. But yeah, the way he hit those holes, he was boom, boom, shoom, fly right through it. Come down and he'll go straight downhill, boom, and go through it. It's amazing how he was hitting those holes. So, yeah, he's going to be good. Now, at this point, you need to play him. Pray for Deion Burks. Looks like, I guess he posted a picture on Instagram of possibly a fire or something. I don't know if that's his place. I don't know if it's at a family member's place. There's no clarity there. I haven't seen anybody say anything on that. But that hit he took, Coop, nasty.
The yeah, I mean that's another one. I say that most of these injuries that we've sustained have not been outside of poor luck. Dion's the exception to that. Dion's the one who keeps on getting drilled pretty hard. So hopefully that he's doing good. Hopefully he gets recovery. You got 2 weeks until Bama. I mean, it's the same thing. You just want to see, like, is there a chance? Now it's not like, hey, can we go win this game? It's now like, can you throw out maybe 4 drives where you look competent, and that's kind of where it is this year. You're probably outside of some craziness, you're not getting a bowl game, so you're not going to have extra practices or anything like that. And it says BB said it was his parents' place. So
all right, something to keep in mind.
Yeah. So I mean, now I say this. I mean, I've seen a couple of the comments, and I do want to say this is everything I think currently because of the quick reaction is on the table as far as jobs. That includes Joe C. That includes Brent Venables. People want immediate change. Immediate. And they're going to pony up some money for it. But I would say every single thing is on the table right now. So as a fan base, sit back and watch. There's outside of who was it? Was it Tennessee fans that showed up and said hell no to our boy out there from Rutgers? Was it? Am I crazy? It was. What's the head coach at Rutgers?
Greg Schiano.
Schiano. Wasn't he rumored to be the leader for the Tennessee job? I think it was, and the Tennessee fans were like, "Nope, we're not doing this." And so I just don't. I mean, everybody's frustrated, and everybody wants massive changes. This is the one thing that I say. It's this offense. There's not much good that you can take from this offense. Because even just like rushing, you've got the rushing thing. X-Rob, that looks great. Taylor Tatum's going to be a good back too. But Deion Burks, Bauer Sharp, Farouk, Tatum were your leading receivers. I mean, Jackson Arnold was the 3rd leading receiver. So the punter was, has the best looking, passing game stats out of everybody. So, you're going to need a lot of stuff. And fortunately for us is that process is going already. It's up, it's running. You're going to have to go make some big changes, and there's going to have to be some culture pieces too. I think that if I were Bob Stoops, big money donors, whatever, you need to put people around Brent Venables who are going to help him out in this moment and really just get second eyes and ears on, the thought processes around what's going to happen, because there is some stuff about the program that, you have to be able to jump in the middle of someone's backside and say, hey, this ain't, whatever you're giving me, it ain't enough. And, just because this is the competitive depth on offense is not competitive. You still like what you're seeing on
offense. Yeah,
you still like what you're seeing on defense, but I mean, you're going to have to go in and do what some of these other programs are doing, where they've brought in, double-digit transfer portals, and not from the aspect of like a mercenary to where you're basically going out and hiring, big-time free agents, but you're going to need some guys who want to come out and play ball. They want to compete. They want to go hard. They want to get better, and but you're going to have some guys with some talent too. So you're hoping that whoever the OC is, maybe they've got a couple people who want to follow. And then you need to be able to put an offense on the field next week or next year that is, let's throw top 10 away. But, middle of the pack at least. Because it needs to be, I mean, this offense this year, it starts at the quarterback. Is Jackson Arnold going to be that guy? I think that right now, I'm not going to argue against you one way or the other.
Yeah, no, they're going to have... Venables is going to get one more year. They're going to get one more year. The defense has shown a massive improvement. So he's going to get that one more year. With all the injuries that he's dealt with, they're going to give him they're going to give him all right, we saw how bad this was. For example, this is the improvement. We talk about defense. Total defense, yards in a game for defense, right? The raw number, the one I typically don't use, but I'm going to give you the raw number, Coop. Where do you think we rank in total defense this season?
Efficiency or total defense?
Total, actual, just raw numbers, yards given up per game, average per game.
32.
Ooh, you're close. Chat, tell me, what do y'all think we rank in how many yards average per game we've given up this season? Now, do average because not everybody's played as many games. We're about to hit our next bye week, and then at that point, we're about even with everybody else in how many games everybody's played. But where do you think we are raw number per game? Boomer drops 30th. Steven says 35th. 44th. Chester thinks top 15. 25. Holden. Y'all are all in the vicinity. Lone Wolves is 18th. You were the highest one, but you're a little bit off. 24th. 310 yards a game. Would have never guessed we'd be up that high.
And I think in defensive efficiency, like we're top 15 still.
Right. Yards per play, we're 16th in the country.
It's
24th in total yards, total defense, and that's just raw number yards. Efficiency, top 15. Yards per play, 4.8. We're 16th in the country. That's where we're ranked. If defensive efficiency, we're 12th. That's bananas to me that we can say that. And if you have a competent offense that doesn't fumble the ball 23 times in a season,
yeah,
you're probably going to be ranked higher than that. Think about it. Just think about it. Just think about that. So yeah, I told you I'm going to give y'all a little positive nuggets in there. Think about that. You have an offense that's not afraid to throw the ball, which this is where my complaint comes in, how the offense played. We hold the ball, and as the announcer said it, they would say we were seeing ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what our quarterback was seeing. Was ghost. Kept seeing ghost. And instead of just getting rid of the ball, he was tucking, and then a few seconds later, somebody would hit him.
You don't know, like we've said it all year, is you don't know what's the identity on offense, and you cannot have an identity without consistency. There's just not. You can't. Like, it's not like you can say, like, well, we can really run the ball off the right side of the offensive line. Well, damn, Jay. I mean, there have been 22 different variations of the right side of the line. Same thing with the middle of the line. Receivers. Jackson's decision making. I mean, it was regression this week. It looked like. I think I saw somebody say something. It looks like we got Tennessee Jackson again.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
And he didn't have a reason to.
No, not at all. The pocket actually looked good. In most situations, the pocket looked solid. It was one of those, you just got to get rid of the ball, bro. But my favorite play, I had recorded it, and I posted it in one of the cords when we were talking about it. When we kicked the field goal, and of course the video shows, Deion Burks talking to Jackson Arnold after the play. On that play, Jackson Arnold thought he saw a blitz. He tucked and got sacked. In that play, you saw Burks doing this and was cutting out. All you got to do is hit that back pylon. Deion Burks catches it for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Coop. It literally was hike, boom, step up, launch it, and just watch it fly. And Burks is wide open doing this, just like he did against Temple. That's what you had in that play. It was right there. I watched it like 4 times, and I'm like, come on now. Come on now. That was the play. But I've waited this entire time to really talk about this, Coop, but I think we're now on to 25. As Bill Belichick would say, we're on to Cincinnati. We're on to 25. Coop. Offensive coordinators. Saw somebody post in the comments, nobody's worth anything's going to come here. That's a lie. I'm just going to tell you that. I'm just going to call you a liar right there. Sorry. Not sorry also. Because yes, you want to know why someone would take the job?
Multiple reasons.
But the main one, you come in here and you fix it in 1 year? Because we've seen with the transfer portal, it's very easy to make those changes in a year. Teams that flip-flop back and forth. Heck, Colorado, look at the Buffs. They lived in the portal for 2 years. They're probably going to play for the Big 12 championship game. You bring in the right coordinator who's willing to bring in the right people. And then if you bring in the right coordinator that's able to go to the top and tell them, open up the gates. I know you've got a large safe of money. Open it up. I need to spend it. He brings in those players, and he's able to turn that offense around. Just as you was about to say, Coop. Head coaching job immediately. We saw Levy leave here in 2 years and get a head coaching job in the SEC. Literally the same thing will happen to an OC. So there will be OCs that want the challenge. Again, I'm going to tell you now, people have already inquired.
There have been meetings. There have been meetings with big names.
Agents have already begun the conversations. They're curious. They want to know, if my guy comes in here, he turns that around in 2 years. Because that's the thing about it. I said this the last time we talked about OCs, and I mentioned this a while ago. If we bring an OC in here, there's a very good chance they will not be here longer than 2 years. You'll get lucky if you get them for 3. Your biggest problem right now is once the season ends, anybody worth it that you really want will not be available probably until after the playoffs. So just sit tight till January. We'll still drop videos and talk about it. But until then, brace yourself. That's what it's going to be like.
And somebody else said it in the chat, and I said this to our prehistoric dinosaur friend in the cord. You come in here and you do the thing the right way. And if there's still some craziness with game mismanagement and just some of the stuff with the program, you might get the head coaching job at Oklahoma.
That is also in the books. People are very interested.
And And I promise you, somebody made a comment to me after a couple weeks ago. We had somebody's people in town having a meeting about the what does this look like conversation, and somebody told me, said, "Hey, well, would people be freaked out because maybe Brent Venables' footing is shaky?" No, because I promise you, we've seen some really shitty coaches recycled over and over and over again. And if you come in, your comparatives for this offense are the worst offense ever in program history. You come in and put something that looks like we can wipe our own ass, and you're going to be looked at as a success, from the outside in. You can build your own stuff. You can build your own program. If you are a Craddock or a Shanahan, any of these guys, and you want to, maybe bring a few friends with you, that's open. That's 100%. And so I think that's going to be, you're going to have opportunity to go to the transfer portal for a couple of guys. You need offensive linemen. You're going to need a receiver or two. But you go in and a tight end. You go into the portal. You can bring in a few guys. You can bring in some up-and-comers from where you're at right now. And again, another thing is you can tell your offense, listen, you don't have to carry the team. Our defense is going to be solid in 25. And guess what? You just need to go out there and not be a deterrent for the rest of the team, which is what we are dealing with this year. It is literally like, just don't F this up for us. And so I'm hoping, and you listen, again, I understand everybody's mad, but at the same time, I mean, it's not like this is Oregon State. It's not like this is Wisconsin or anything like that. Like, this is a big name program still, and people will want to come here to have the opportunity to turn it around, and the spotlight will be on you immediately.
Oh, yep. And everybody's watching you.
And you're playing in the SEC too. And so how many people in these other schools are wanting to, maybe bounce out, get out of there? Because listen, it's Big Ten and the SEC is where it's at as far as like your hope for your future. You know where you're at with those two.
Yep. No, that's very true. That's very, very true. It's gonna be the good thing for this job is, like you said, the eyeballs will be all over you nationally. Mm-hmm. Not local, national. Joel Klatt's going to be talking about you. Colin Cowherd's going to talk about you. Paul Feinbaum is going to go all on you. He's going to go dig deep into your resume to understand who you are. Everybody going to talk about you. That is all you need to know about taking this job. The question is, who can handle that much pressure? Because I do know this. This may be the downfall of BV. Is that the person coming in on the offensive coordinator will be the CEO of the offense. It's yours. It's your staff. It's your recruiting. It's your budget. It's this. It's going to be yours. That could be a really good thing, or it could be a bad thing. It's similar to how it was for BV at Clemson. Defense is yours. Go hire the people you want. Dabo stayed away, focused on the offensive side and being a CEO.
And listen, like I said everything is on the table. Joe Castiglione has been an absolute stud for this program. I don't know if there's an argument that is extremely strong one way or the other as far as, is it his time? Is it, does he still have a lot more left? But I think that there's a plan in motion regardless, because we had a Selman brother leave here recently and go get their feet wet as a athletic director somewhere else. So we've got somebody there. I saw Bob Stoops' name I don't know if Bob Stoops wants to turn around and come back. In this type of capacity, and hey, we need to help. We need you to help fix some of the athletic department pieces. But I'll just say this: we are 3 weeks away from the season being done. I think that whoever the offensive coordinator, there will be a silent deal in play probably into November. I think that they're going to have that kind of a conversation. You see it all the time where coordinators are going into national championship games knowing that they're on the way out. And so I think that the 12-team playoff is going to cloud that up a little bit. But, I just got to say this is I think that you need to, because of the transfer portal in the winter, you need to have somebody that you can have conversations with these kids and say, hey, this is who's coming this way. We're going to need you, or I don't know how that runs, but, it's you're going to have people interested in coming and playing football here. Is it the same thing as getting a 5-star wide receiver, or the creme de la creme as far as like offensive linemen who are just not happy wherever they're at? You're going to have to get some guys who want to come in and play. We've as of right now, you've still got the vote of confidence from guys like Fasusi and Foje and Afalava, and so those guys are going to want to come in and try to fight for playing time. But you got to have somebody with them to compete with, because you can't have freshmen and then redshirt freshmen or true sophomores fighting in be in the same situation going into the season where you got nobody who's ever played together. And then we're going to pretty much be at the same exact situation going into next year. Is what does our offensive line look like? What does the receiver room look like? And what are we getting from quarterback? Whoever comes in is going to have a carte blanche on putting something together. And it's I will say this, any of our friends from other fan bases in here tonight, if you hear confidence in the fall and in fall camp and spring camp and stuff thrown out, call me out on it, because it's going to be a wait and see year. We're going to have to wait and see what does next year look like.
Yep. And I mean, it's fine. I'm still going to point out who I think is going to be rising stars, who I think can be good, who I can do all that. I'm still going to do that. I mean, that's kind of the point of having a channel.
Oh, yeah.
It's no point of me telling you that everybody sucks all day long. I mean, who wants to hear that? It's not even fun, right? There's nothing fun about that. You want to know who's a possibility, who's potentially going to be good, who you think is going to be bad, all of that. So, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, man. I have no concerns with recruits. I have no concerns. I mean, the only recruits I would have concern with are those that are committed under certain coaches that we may not see come back. But for the most part, the whole point of the system of recruiting is commit to the school, not to the coach. And that way, even if BV's gone, kids are going to still want to come here to play for the new regime. That's going to be the focus. Which I'm here for that. I'm here for the way that he's trying to build this. He's trying to build this, like I said, the right way, and have less stress when it comes to hearing players constantly looking around all the time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't seem to have forgotten what that was like. Every week, guys decommitting. And then new guy commit, and another one decommit. Remember those days, Coop? Those were dark days. Very dark days. I'm not concerned about a single recruit whatsoever. I'm not. I have no reason to. Till they show me differently, I have no reason to be concerned. I know a lot of them are looking at I'm ready to play now.
Yeah. Well, and it, like I said, it could be worse. We're throwing out scout team in the SEC in our first year in the SEC on offense. And these games are still competitive, but you can point and say, all right, we got to do a couple things here, and it's going to be good. You take a look at Florida State. Where do they start?
Yep.
That was a team who went undefeated last year. You look at USC. They're doing the same things we are, except for they don't have 42 offensive players hurt. So, I mean, it could be worse. But at the same time, I mean, guys, we wanted a defense that was going to make us happy and make us proud, and not just be an absolute embarrassment. Nobody had on their bingo card the offensive staff was going to be an embarrassment this year. Nobody
on their bingo card that we would have this many injuries.
I don't think.
I think I'll do that from now on. I think I'll do that from now on, Coop. I think I'm going to set all my expectations on the expectation that nobody on the team plays.
All right.
As in, we go to the field and there's the opposition on the field and we're not there at all. I'm going to start doing it from now on. And I'm going to start making that for everybody. I'm going to do that from now on because it feels like... Now, the rational fans in the comments, y'all know I'm being facetious right now. But, Coop, I think that's what I'm going to do. All expectations going forth is, let me see. If we get one player on the football field, I'd say we'll finish like this. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to tell you who or anything because no one, absolutely no one, expected to be down 4 top receivers at the end of your first game, 4 different centers in 3 games, 9 different offensive line configurations in 10 games. No one prepares for that. No, it's not realistic.
And the offensive line was going to be an issue from the get-go. So now you're already taking a position group that you're like, this is going to be a weakness of the team, and then you turn around and those guys don't even get to play through most of the year. And then any of the guys that were playing, Jake Taylor, Jake Sexton, Garen Hatchett, Branson Hickman, these guys were also not playing like healthy, like at all. Like Jake Taylor shouldn't be on a football field. Like he shouldn't be on a football field, and he gave it a go in 3 separate games. To where that boy and Jacob Sexton, he could have been like, you know what, guys, you guys are screwing with my future. I'm done. Dude was moving all over the place. He was not, he was playing tackle, he was playing guard, he's playing on the right side. Like he's doing so many different things. He got dinged up, and so I mean, I will say this is it's frustrating, this offense, and it's frustrating. I mean.
It's just frustrating. We're all frustrated. I mean, I would have liked for no one on our offense to get hurt. That would have been awesome. I think I would have been great to see that too. Yeah. And there's a reason why no team in college football plays all freshmen. I just want y'all to know that. I don't think anybody's ever seen that before. There's a reason why teams never play all freshmen. Ever. We unfortunately have to do that a lot. On offense. All right, that's going to do it. Thank you for pulling up. Hit the like button. New to the channel, subscribe, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. Shout out to our friends over at Prize Picks. Check them out. They're hooking you up. $50 bonus when you bet your first $5 lineup. Just go to prizepicks.com. Use our promo code UNFAIR to get the promo. We will chop it up with all of you all. We'll be back probably either Wednesday or Thursday night, just depending on what the schedules look like work-wise, but we'll be around. I'll be over on Locked On Sooners as well. We'll be figuring things out. So, yeah, Boomer Sooner. Catch you later. Peace.